Have you ever played a game that will improve your mood every time you play, no matter how bad your mood is? For me, that is 8-Bit Killer, a game that plays so wonderfully to my nostalgia. The gameplay elicits the memory of playing Doom 2 as a kid, and the visuals and audio give me the feeling of playing an old 8-bit console. This feeling of nostalgia is the creator Locomalito's mission, and he succeeds on all levels. 8-Bit Killer was released as freeware in 2008 for the PC, and I would be remiss not to say that there are plenty more freeware titles on his website that invoke old-school nostalgia. After a major war, the world is in ruins. Taking advantage of this, a space creature comes to Earth, raising an army to control the remnants of humanity. A small group of soldiers fights to protect the few free cities left. This is the story of their final mission to take the fight to the enemy and destroy the alien menace and its army. The story will continue as you progress through the game with dialogue in between some of the levels. This will take place on a screen showing your progress through the city. If you don't care about the story and just want to play, the story is easily skipped by hitting the spacebar. The game is akin to Wolfenstein 3D in its single-plane execution, but the controls are either the classic purist keyboard, or, as I prefer, the easier-to-use modern keyboard and mouse combo. After reading the README file, it seems that the keyboard and mouse combo are the preferred choice since it doesn't mention the purest keyboard controls are available. Now, the thing to remember before we get into the game is that the pause button is the spacebar, allowing you to change weapons, and that the S key will close the game immediately, as I have learned over and over again. The game's design is simplistic, straightforward, and nostalgic. This being inspired by the classic first-person shooters of old, it has the formula of shoot enemies till they die, collect health and ammo pickups, as well as getting keys to open doors. All the while the main focus is to get to the end of each level. There are 6 guns available, 5 of which need ammo. The ammo is universal for all weapons, a la Wolfenstein 3D. There are chances to increase your health and ammo by 10 via these upgrade packs. These are on most levels and are sometimes off the main route to the end, with even a few behind hidden passages. Just like Wolfenstein 3D, there are a few secret walls that can be opened like a door to get a few extra items. I haven't found many of these myself, but it seems there's a visual cue to find them, be it a note on a wall or a crack that doesn't appear anywhere else in the level. As the levels progress, you shall encounter new enemies along with some from previous levels. This keeps combat fresh by keeping the player on their toes, learning new tactics for each enemy. How many hits does this guy take? When should I dodge? When should I shoot? These questions keep the combat going. And the real combat mechanic behind this game is knowing how to use the space given to you to effectively dodge enemy attacks and know when to retaliate. Unlike most first-person shooters, the gunfire from the enemies is shown and will go at a speed that will allow you time to dodge, if you can. If you get hit, you will be granted a few seconds of invincibility, so that you don't get destroyed within a few seconds if multiple shots are headed your way. Should you die, you will start the level you are on from the beginning, but all the upgrades you may have collected are gone. Should you die 3 times, it is game over, and you will have to start the game from the beginning if you want to continue. Seeing how there isn't any difficulty choices, this might be a game that some will find easy, or a game that you can become better at over time. In total, there are 5 chapters with 8 levels and 5 boss battles. If you don't die, you can get through the game in about 40 minutes. While this might be seen as a shortcoming, it works in its benefit for being a game that you can beat in one sitting. The graphics are simplistic, colorful, and 8-bit, paying homage to the NES days while working within a more advanced engine, allowing for a wonderfully detailed world. The enemies, like most from the 8-bit era, are color-coded so they are quick and easy to identify. Even in the dark, gloomy levels, the enemy's color palette allows them to pop out, bringing out a nice aesthetic of contrast between the enemies and the devastated world they live in. The music by Rush Jet One is great, with plenty of tunes that made me bob my head as I played. While there are only a few tracks, and some of which are used on multiple levels, it doesn't detract from how awesome the soundtrack to this game is. By emulating that old 8-bit style, it complements the game and helps to enforce the idea that it pays homage to those old games. This is pretty evident by the fact that most of these songs are only about a minute or so long, and are well edited enough so that they transition well when repeating. And in the sound effects department, it does well to give that old school feeling, especially that sound when you finish a level. 8-Bit Killer is one of those awesome little games that just truly captures nostalgia right. The feeling of playing Wolfenstein 3D on a school computer or playing Doom 2 at home returns to me. This is not to say that nostalgia is a covering factor that blinds me, and that you have to have been an old school gamer or played 8-bit games to appreciate this. This is a good game, made greater by the fact that it connects to me on such a base level. 8-Bit Killer plays right, looks good, and because of its short length, allows it to be a pick-up-and-play experience. I wholeheartedly recommend this to anyone who finds this type of game appealing at all. 8-Bit Killer can be found at Locomalito's website for free with options to download posters, trading cards, a DVD cover, and a disc print. A link will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Any feedback on this video or any of my other videos would be appreciated. If you want to get in contact with me, message me on YouTube or Twitter. And if you want to see any of my previous work or my last reviews, click the links provided.